Hello, welcome, Cabbage here. So today let's have a look at the new Transcendent form of Mundus, and yeah, I was pretty excited about this one. As you can see, mine has luck 6, and unfortunately this was way before the Transcendent form of Mundus was announced. I had two Munduses, a luck 5 and then a luck 1, and then I fused them together. I wish I hadn't. I wish I had two Munduses, but we'll settle for one for now and maybe pull one in the future, hopefully. Alright, well, let's look at his stats first. He is a balance type, and all of his stats are pretty darn high. HP is tank level. That's kind of common for a Transcendent form. And then attack is fine, 23, 24. Not super high. But he did get a boost over his general Ascended form, and that boost was high enough to get him over the one punch line for both Tsukuyomi and Hakua. So now he becomes one of the top picks for those two quests. Yeah, before he used to take an Able Berry to raise his attack high enough, but now he doesn't need it, so that's pretty awesome. And then speed is decent for a Pierce type, about 350. And then, as for his abilities, he is a Pierce with a Flight and Null Gravity Barrier, and very few monsters have this kind of ability and then Sling style combination. So it's pretty great. That combination is very versatile and it's very easy to use, especially because he doesn't have a gauge. So yeah, very easy to use. His Strike Shot, it's the same one as before, where everybody he hits gets 3 turns added to all of their attack counts. So that's what I would call a delay strike shot. There are some other ways to kind of skip enemies' turns, like stuns or sleeps, but this is the delay version, which adds, again, turns to the guy's current attack numbers. And then originally it was 30 for the Ascended form, but now that strike shot has been moved to the 26 slot, and so you can shoot it a turn quicker, and then he has a more powerful version, which goes back to the original 30 turn count, which does the same amount, the 3 turn delay, but it increases his speed and power. In my experience, it doesn't add that much speed and power, so I would just go ahead and use the 26 turn if you were in a pinch, so yeah. And then kind of the biggest news about Mundus is his bump combo got much stronger. And it's a double homing shot, and then since he's a Transcendent form, both of his bump combos are at full power. His main is the homing destruction, and then the sub is the pierce homing. And yeah, altogether it's a lot of hits and a lot of damage. And in the game, he's in the top 3, same as, or similar to Alice Ascension and Lorelei Ascension. Maybe not quite as powerful as those two, but super duper good, very strong. And I do not have Alice, so I'm very happy to have Mundus here. And yeah, if you've ever played with a team of Lorelei's or a team of Alices, then you know how strong a homing party can be. And so if you have like 2 or 3 or even 4 Munduses, I would recommend transcending them all and then making a team of them and just, you know, wasting everything. And then, yeah, we'll look at what Able Berries are good for him. You can see that mine has a Genius S Plus on him, and this is awesome. If you've seen my kind of recommended monsters for rank raising, I recommend either Flight or Minesweepers with no gauge, and that's what Mundus has got. And then I do generally recommend Bounce monsters instead of Pierce, since Bounce monsters do more damage because they can hit more guys and they lose less speed as they hit guys. But Mundus kind of breaks that mold for me because his bump combo is so strong that it's definitely worth using him in the rank raising missions. And yeah, it should be much quicker with this character. So yeah, I would recommend Genius for Mundus. Other Able Berries I would recommend. He doesn't need any kin strength since he already got that buff. You could give him Strike Haste so that he can get his delay strike shot out even quicker. You could give him Knockout which is always great on Pierce monsters. You could give him... you can give him a sidekick, of course, to make his homing more strong. And then, let's see, what else? Since he's good for Hakwa, you could give him, what do you call it, Cutthroat. Just to cut down on the hit points that you can do to the boss. So yeah, those are the able berries that I think would be good for Mundus. And then as for quests that Mundus is good for, he is good for a bunch. So many that people kind of forget to use him. I mean, when I had his Ascension version, I used him a lot in the beginning because he was my very first character that I pulled. But after I got a bunch of other characters, I stopped using him. But he is just really strong, and then now he's even stronger. But yeah, I'm looking at the list of recommended impossible missions, and I see the new Izanami Zero, I see Akala, Tsukiyomi and Hakua, which I mentioned before, Daikokuten, and then the upcoming Yamato Takeru Zero. And then many of those quests, they have mines in them, which makes Mundus great for them. And then even in the case of like Daikokuten, which has warps, Mundus is worth using because his bump combo and then his strike shot are so strong. So yeah, any impossible mission with mines, you could take him fairly successfully. And then I would say that he's good for light and dark Muramasa and Murasame, and then also floors 30 and 35 of the Tower of Champions. So yeah, lots of versatility. Really happy to have this guy. Okay, I think that's all I wanted to say there, so let's start the video, and then we will take him to Titanium. He just happened to be up when I was recording this video. And yeah, Titanium is one of the quests that I recommend for farming Hakua. So we'll bring a Hakua party, including Mundus, who is great for Hakua. And then to talk quickly about the rest of the team that I'm using, I'm bringing Son Goku, Ascension. He's got Speed Up, and a Blast Bump combo, and a Command Strike Shot, which are all things that you really want for Hakua. And then next I'm bringing Sakura. She has Recovery, and so yeah, she can keep my guys' hit points up. She's also Pierce, which is pretty handy for Hakua, and yeah, decent strike shot, decent bump combo. Bump combo won't really come in handy for Hakua, but whatever. And then finally I'm bringing Yoshitsune Ascension, and then he's got Light Slayer, as we can see here, and then he's got the Lightning Bump combo, which can stun guys. If that activates in Hakua, that would be super useful. And then he's got a becomes a Pure Strike Shot, which always does good damage. And then finally, this one has a knockout S plus berry. So he's got a 2.5% chance of stunning guys. No, dizzying guys. So yeah, if that also activates in Hakua, that would be a super big help. And then, yeah, I guess I can take this moment to sort of talk about the difference between the delay and the stun. Yeah, Mundus's delay, it adds turns to a character's attack count. And so, yeah, so if Titanium's like 2 attack here were hit by Mundus, it would become 5. So that would give us more turns to act. The knockout stun, it can last for 2 turns. And then during that turn, the enemy's count will go down just as normal, but attacks will not go out. So you can actually skip attacks rather than just delaying them. But the thing about the Dizzy is that if the enemy is hit, that the turn after it is activated, then it'll be cancelled. And then that second round of skipped attacks will, you know, go out again. So, yeah, the delay strike shot is in some ways better, just because it can't be cancelled. But the Dizzy stun is also good, because it can skip attacks, and you can put it on anybody if you get the knockout able berry on them. So yeah, both are good, both have their advantages. Alright, and then to talk about the quests that we're going to, this is Titanium. And then there are none of the major gimmicks. So no damage walls, warps, mines, or gravity barriers. There are scorpions, and that's about it. Oh, so there we see the, what is it? The scorpion got the dizzy above him from the attack from Yoshitsune. But since it took damage from that shield, then it was cancelled, so. But yeah, Titanium, there are none of the major gimmicks, which makes it easy to bring whoever you like to hunt for Hakua. And then, yeah, as much as possible, we want to leave the scorpions out, because they are right in the way of the balls that the shields shoot out. So that can prevent damage to us. So in that sense, Mundus is not the perfect choice, since he has that very crazy homing shot. But whatever. The mission's really not that difficult at all, so... I see that our hit points are a little bit low, so we'll use the Sakura for some healing, and then we'll grab the heart as well, I think. Alright, very good. And then Titanium as a monster to use, I think he's really good. His evolution is really good for beginners. It's a Pierce, Flight, Null, Warp, which is that same combination of Sling Style and abilities as Tsukuyomi. So if you don't have a Tsukuyomi yet, you could pick up a Titanium evolution. And then the Ascension, I would say, is for high-level players. So if you had the evolution, for example, and then you got tired of him or you picked up Tsukuyomi, you could switch him over to the Ascension and then get use out of him again, but in different situations, of course. And then the Ascension is a Pierce power type with Demon Slayer, and yeah, he is one of the strongest Demon Slayers, certainly the strongest drop monster Demon Slayer. And yeah, because he's a Pierce, you can just head straight for the boss's weak point, and that's very, very useful. And then you might have seen on the website for Monster Strike, but there is a limited time quest coming up for Kyubere, and Titanium Ascension will be excellent for that mission, so I am eagerly awaiting to break out my max luck of that guy. Alrighty. So, we were in a little bit of a pinch in the last mission, but we managed to get through it, and then here we're in a turtle stage so we can get back even more hit points. And then here is the boss. And the boss is really pretty similar to the mini-boss stages. So if we, you know, kind of picked up the gist of the stages there, then we shouldn't have any problem here. And of course on this stage we want to start at the bottom of the screen so that we're not in between the shields and the scorpions. And then there's that Knockout Ableberry coming into effect again. Yeah, Knockout Ableberry is maybe my favorite Ableberry. I would put it on everybody I could, except for guys with strong bump combos. I would put the sidekick on them. And then one Genius Ableberry. So one Genius Ableberry, Knockout, and then Sidekick. That's all I really want, but yeah, it's difficult to get the Ableberries that you want. Okay, pretty good. Alright, and then for the next stage, we want to move our guys towards the top. This will do. Alright, there's Titanium up there. We'll just move our guys up towards the top. Oh, and if you were interested in hunting for Hakua in Titanium as you make the max look of Titanium, you could bring Kushinada. Kushinada's great for Hakua, and then she also has a Slayer which works on the boss, so that can be pretty awesome there. That assumes that you have the max luck of Kushinada, however. Okay. Alright, positioning is pretty good here. Yeah, and I do love the Ascension of Yoshitsune. But actually I don't get a lot of use out of him. Yeah, kind of bounce, dark, null damage wall monsters. They're all sort of outclassed by Lucifer. And that goes for like Dark, Muramasa, and guys like that as well. But yeah, especially with the knockout Abelberry, Yoshitsune has kind of a very specific role now. So by finding the stage for him, that was pretty great. Okay, very good homing, excellent. Okay, last stage, and this is pretty similar in look to the last mini-boss stage as well. As much as possible, we'll try to leave the scorpions up as we do damage to the boss. Alright, positioning is pretty great for Yoshitsune's strike shot, so we'll go ahead and use that here. And then, yeah, the reason why Knockout is a good Abelberry for Pierce types is because as they go through a boss, they'll get like 3 or maybe 4 hits. And so the odds of activating the Knockout are much higher for Pierce monsters that are attacking bosses. And then, yeah, usually you want the Knockout to go into the boss anyway, rather than little guys, so yeah, Pierce monsters are generally preferred for Knockout. Okay, well, there's no more life left on Titanium, but we'll go ahead and use Mundus' strike shot, and then add 3 to all of his attack counts. Alright. Very good. And that was with the speed and power up, but as you can see, it didn't add a whole lot, so we don't need to worry too much about saving up to 30. 26 will be just fine. Okay, so that was my review of Mundus Transcendent. If you have one, please by all means transcend him. You can take him to lots of places. If you have 2 or more, I also highly recommend to transcend all of those. Alright, thanks for watching. Take care.